you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think there was one more. This will be the last question, gentleman there.
Hello, my name is Wale. I'm from Cranford University. About a year ago, I used to work in a firm that used to dabble into renewable energy and energy management systems. And one of the things we used to do was recommend LED lighting for our clients as part of the ways of saving their energy. One of the problems we always had convincing them was cost, availability, and replacement. People tend to be more comfortable with, like you said, something they can just walk into a store and just buy, and it's easy to just fix up there by themselves. And we always try to push it to them that, yes, the hours are more, 50,000 hours, like you said, but convincing them, especially of those three things, is always a problem. So what's been done about that?
There's a number of things there. Cost. First of all, costs are coming down, as I mentioned in my presentation. They're coming down a lot. They've probably halved over the last 6 years in round figures. And they will continue to come down as volumes increase. But there is another factor, as you mentioned, the long run life, and you get a situation. Take a fluorescent tube, for example. You can buy a reasonably good quality fluorescent tube for £3 or £4. You can buy an LED equivalent for about 20. Now, that at first sight seems a lot more money, but when you take into account that the fluorescent tube also needs ballast and starter to run, and you're probably going to change the fluorescent tube 3 times during the lifetime of the LED tube, and you're probably going to change the ballast once, and you're probably going to change the starter 3 times. You start adding up the hardware, and it actually works out probably about half the cost just of the hardware than the LED lamp. And then if you take the labor into account to do that, and we're not even talking about the energy saving here, you'll find that actually the fluorescent, during its cost of ownership during its lifetime, is actually much more expensive, even excluding the running costs, than the LED lamps. So it's a function of perception. If you're just comparing the tube with the tube, yes, the LED is a lot more expensive, but to look at actually the cost of ownership of the products, and it's not. And then you take the energy into account as well, and it's a no-brainer. You'll find that the LED tube will pay for itself probably 4 or 5 times during its lifetime compared to a fluorescent. You mentioned some other points about reliability which relate to that.
Yeah, and then replacement.
Well, replacements, again, because you're probably talking 50,000 hours for a quality lamp life expectancy, replacement is a lot less. There are reputable suppliers such as ourselves who can provide replacements as and when they're needed. On the subject of replacement, another thing that's happening as well is that people aren't thinking of, if you like, a light bulb to replace in a fitting anymore. That because they are so reliable, manufacturers are actually making complete luminaires, which without changeable lamps. So you would actually simply replace the whole luminaire if and when it comes to its useful end of its life. But you might be talking 15 years of use, which is probably long enough, particularly in a commercial environment.
Okay, well, that's an interesting point. Thank you very much.